The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Play NZ's #1 entertainment podcast.
It was a furniture place called Sofa King, and their slogan was, "Our prices are Sofa King low."
From iHeartRadio, Play ZM's Fletch, Vaughan and Hayley. Available everywhere.
The Real Pod is brought to you by our good friends at Nando's. They've got restaurants across Aotearoa, and if you order through the Nando's app, you can collect Perry Perks points to redeem for delicious rewards. Hit nandos.co.nz to learn more and start earning.
I'm still standing, baby. Elton John, 2023.
Welcome to The Real Pod. Grand final, baby. It's all over and done with. The PR company don't care anymore. They didn't email us the update of what everyone danced to and the scores they got last night.
It doesn't matter.
It's done.
It's done.
It's over.
And I think Nadia Lim won.
Yes, pretty sure Nadia Lim won and Clinton Randall came third again. Yeah, that's how it went. We will be recapping Dancing with the Stars, the grand final in full shortly, but we've got a bit of other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Almost like old school Real Pod days.
Do we need to say what this podcast is and who we are, or is it like...
Sure. This is your reality TV podcast, and my name's Jane Yee, and this lovely lady opposite me, resplendent in red,
wow,
and
thank you.
alive, which is amazing, is Alex Casey.
No Duncan today.
No Duncan today.
You can only ever have two of us. That's the rule.
Yeah.
It's like that life triangle where it's like work, life, fun, or whatever, and you can only ever have two.
Yeah, and also it's usually us two.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. I am actually knackered.
Yeah.
I'm knackered, but I'm here. Like, it's hard to know, because I'm not generally a very well-feeling person. So it's hard to know on my COVID journey where I'm at, because I generally feel pretty bad. But I'm definitely exhausted, very foggy. I keep losing my keys and wallet and things everywhere, and putting things in strange places, but maybe this is just my life now. Maybe I've always been this way.
I feel like I've had long COVID well before COVID was even here.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm always sleepy. My mind's always going to funny places. I have blank spots all the time. So I hate to think what actually happened. Maybe it'll work in reverse.
Yeah.
If I get COVID,
it'll glow up.
I'll have some sort of rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Can't really encourage catching COVID as a wellness plan. So, actually, speaking of COVID, I thought I'd do a test live on pod.
Yeah.
Just because everyone's going down like flies. I've got no reason to test except for just that. I know T.I. he's going away this weekend, and he's going away for a really important reason for a few weeks, and I just want to make sure that I'm not,
Yeah.
I just want to be safe.
Okay, so you're going to do this all right now?
It's peace of mind. I'm going to put this thing up my nose right now.
Okay.
Is this?
And we're just going to watch? Do you want me to commentate?
You do what you like.
Jane is pushing the long Q-tip inside her nose. She's looking me dead in the eyes, which I don't love. And now she is squeezing her eyes closed in pain.
Well, just a tingle. Oh, the
Just a
eyes are
tingle.
watering. Okay, other side. Oops, I missed
Stare at me in the eyes. Don't shut your eyes. Don't shut your eyes.
Okay.
Stare at me.
This one's harder to get into. I don't know why.
I think you need to... are you going back or up there?
Back. Oh,
Okay.
sneeze.
Is this a good thing to do on a podcast?
It's really not. I bet it hasn't been done before, though.
No.
Groundbreaking.
We'll need a little countdown, like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
It's all right,
Some
I've got-
theme music to count down to the 15 minutes.
I've got a timer going, so I can keep an eye on that. Whoa.
Okay.
I'm
This is the part
I'm
that I
like
love,
weeping.
is the little dabbling in the little vial.
I've got a really good method, okay? So you do your little roundy against the sides, and then you leave it in for a minute. But when you get to you know how they say how to squeeze it out?
Yeah.
I'll show you my method when we get to
Really?
that point. Yeah.
From the sides, or is this something else?
This is
There's only so many ways you can
No, I'll show you.
skin a rat.
Anyway, hey, you may have just joined us from hearing about our podcast on Today FM.
Yeah, what is that all about?
So tell me, your dad heard...
My dad texted me this morning and said my dad loves Today FM. And who doesn't, you know?
I
He
mean,
texted
I've
me-
been listening to it.
It's good fun.
Yeah, I mean, Mark and Leah are, as you say, the real pod
They are.
in like 10 years' time.
It's our future and I'm so excited.
Listened to Duncan Garner this morning. I did not hear.
Oh, well, he said at 11:55 a.m. today, it is, what day is it? Monday. Just heard your Real Pod promo on The Garner Show.
Yeah.
And then emoji
Seems-
with heart eyes.
Seems like the perfect place to advertise our
Perfect
podcast.
crossover of audience.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of promo going on the radio.
Tag your flatties.
So,
this is huge.
Hello, Garner fans, and welcome to the Real Pod.
The original Duncan, in a lot of ways.
It's the original Duncan who is in absentia. Alex, you've had a lot going on. For
I have had a
one,
lot
can we
going
talk
on.
about your wallet?
No, we can't.
Okay. She lost her wallet.
Yeah.
And it was found
Yeah.
by a celebrity. That's all.
That was all.
That's all.
That's
we're saying.
all. It
That's
doesn't
all we're
matter.
saying.
It doesn't matter. Don't go on about it.
But more importantly, you nearly died on a Zoom.
I nearly died on a Zoom. I want to raise awareness here about people who think they're okay after having COVID and they're not. Because I was interviewing Tina Cross. I had this interview scheduled while I had COVID, so I was like, I'm going to cancel that and reschedule. I was interviewing her about her role singing the Shortland Street theme song, of course, iconic. And she's obviously in Sydney, so it was a Zoom call. I rescheduled for a few days later thinking I'll probably be okay. And I thought I was. I thought I was fine. So I jumped on the Zoom call. I was standing up. My laptop's kind of propped up on my windowsill. And immediately, as soon as we started talking, I got insanely hot. Like, started sweating through my clothes, had to rip off my jumper. And then things took a turn. So at the start, this is just Tina. This is pre-interview, small talk. Tina is just talking about how she has managed to dodge COVID this whole time, and I hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I have just tested negative all the way through. I was suspicious that maybe I was one of these people that just was always going to test negative. I had one day of feeling a bit chesty, but that's it, about 4 weeks ago. So
That's
I
a
can't
wretch.
actually put it down to COVID, but, you know, maybe I'm just on COVID. Yeah. How did you find it?
It's actually been quite intense.
Things are starting to turn for me right now.
Gosh.
Yeah, sorry, Tina. I'm just going to have to... I'm actually having a bit of a wave of something right now.
Speech is slurring.
Are you?
I might have to,
You want to call me back?
yeah.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Look, just put this off until you're feeling better.
Yeah, sorry. I've just suddenly had a bit of a wave of craziness. Is it all right if I get back in touch with you?
Yes, do. Okay,
Alrighty.
we'll talk soon.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Okay, bye.
That's going in her memoirs, by the way.
Isn't it crazy?
That's the for me.
And I was completely blacking out. I didn't know where I was. Like, I just completely lost. I was just losing. It felt like I was losing consciousness. And she was just watching me on Zoom, so frightened.
Oh, that's horrendous.
And then I proceeded to run into the toilet, rich, and I broke my glasses as well, which was very annoying. And then Joe had to call Healthline, and I was in bed for the rest of the day, like shaking and sweating, and yeah.
I'm so
it's
glad you got
crazy.
audio of it. It's a shame
Me
there's no
too.
video.
Me too.
I mean, I'm glad you're well now as well, but I'm just... time's marching on, so I'm just squeezing my thing. So
Yeah,
it's what I
right.
do.
You're doing the technique.
Sorry, we will come back to your
Thank
interview.
you.
I squeeze it, but I also turn at the same time, and it really, you can see it all coming down the side
Oh,
there.
yeah, you're really juicing that.
Really juicing that. So there's no room for error.
Get in the jus.
Okay.
Yeah, where are you going to put that?
I'm going to put that back in there, and then I'm going to put it in the little special baggie.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further to add to that?
No, I got through it eventually and rescheduled the interview. had a great time with Tina. She was very gracious and very understanding.
And did you watch, you obviously watched all the Shorty Street stuff.
I wanted to talk to you about this because I am so back into Shortland Street now. After we did Street Week on the spin-off and I was watching kind of in the lead up to it, and now it's truly unmissable for me. Every single night, I'm so back in.
Are you watching, what the trick is, you got to make the time to watch it every day, right? You can't get too far behind because then it's just such a marathon to catch up.
Yeah. Well, I'm just settling into this life now where I'm like, 6 o'clock I watch the news, 7 o'clock I watch Shortland Street.
You watch the news?
Yeah. I'm happy.
That's wild.
I'm happy.
I watched live TV for the first time in a long time last night and it was Dancing with the Stars. It was the only episode I've watched live. Apart from the one where we watched live in the audience.
Live.
But that's a tease for what's coming up later in the show because we've still got more to talk about. MasterChef. I didn't watch it.
I did.
And?
There's a lot to get through. They start with 27 contestants.
Too many.
And they have 16 aprons. So it's quite weird, but it's spectacularly shot. Like the MasterChef kitchen thing is huge. It's in Queenstown. I love the judges. I think Nadia's really she's found a,
She's found a groove.
She's found a groove. And it is quite amazing and emotional that she won MasterChef and that's how she got to where she is.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, is she the most successful reality winner in the world ever in terms of what she's managed to create? Or is it like Kelly Clarkson or something? Oh, maybe it's Kelly Clarkson.
Literally the first person you thought of.
But it's amazing what she's done. That she's built this entire, enterprise around herself. So I liked seeing her journey.
What's Clay Aiken up to these days?
You don't hear about Clay Aiken or Ruben Stoddard very much, do you?
I wish there was a way we could search up and see what they're up to now.
Oh, someone should make that happen. But yeah, it's I think I'll keep watching. It's there's just a lot to get through, Oh, results are in?
It's just mine heart attack because you see the line next to the C and you think I've got COVID because it's the C, but of course that's the control. No line as yet on the test.
I will say when I tested positive, it came up very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have it.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that.
It's just so that our friend T.I. here can sit here and be assured. Yeah. If I was a really nice, normal person, I would have done that before coming into the studio.
Right.
But I got sucked into the hype of doing something like on pod,
Yeah. Well, we've both read JJ Feeney's book now. We know how this works.
Life on the Edge, by the way, if you're planning a career in radio and want to know how to absolutely smash out some great controversial promos, and get the shock jock kind of stuff happening. JJ's just had breast reduction surgery and is recovering at home.
Good on her.
In case you're wondering. Kerre Woodham. Remember that name?
Yeah.
Play the sting.
Like and subscribe.
Max Key Corner. I know. I'll never forget you.
Like and subscribe.
Shit, that feels good. It feels good. I'm exhausted now from that dancing.
Song. That is the song.
It is the best song ever written.
Yeah.
It's emotional. It's so short, but it takes you on a journey.
It really does.
And then it leaves you wanting more at the end as well.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, what happened? He just faded out. Anyway, Kerre Woodham, you might remember this name. This was Max Key's dog. Half Pomeranian, half husky.
Yeah. Don't know how I feel about that combo, but we'll move on.
Okay, we have wondered what happened to Kerre Woodham because he sort of just disappeared off the Instagram and so on. I know what happened to Kerre Woodham.
What happened?
Well, just this very day, I was talking to Rachel LaRue, who is in the podcast department. Mm-hmm. She was showing me she's a model because that's just the kind of people we employ here at the spin-off.
like below deck.
Yeah. You go from modelling to the spin-off. And she was like showing me some modelling photos. She was like, and look at this dog. It's half Pomeranian, half husky. And I was like, oh, it's a Pomsky. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, Max Key had a Pomsky. And she's like, this is Max Key's old dog.
What?
Yeah.
Doing a fashion shoot?
I don't know. She was there with sorry. Is Kerre a girl or a boy dog?
Unclear.
Kerre was there with, I think, a makeup artist who now owns Kerre.
Wow.
Because what happened is Max went overseas. He had met this makeup artist when she was doing some makeup for him for some Halloween thing or something. she had fallen in love with the dog. When he was going overseas for a while, he was like, do you want to look after the dog while I'm away? And she said yes. And then he came back, wanted the dog back. She didn't want to give it back, and he could see how happy Cairo was. And so that was the end of that for Max and Cairo.
Wow. So you can find Cairo on Instagram now?
I don't know. No, I don't know. No, this was just
not public facing.
This was personal photos.
Oh, this is personal photos.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to know that Cairo's still out there.
Cairo
and
is
having a nice life.
Still living the glam life, can I say? Yeah.
And it's hard. It'll be hard for Max to take Cairo to all those lunches where he has to bark at the Prime Minister. And
yeah. Actually, Cairo could probably help out with that.
He could probably help out a great deal.
I just thought I'd share that because that was quite amazing. I yelled out at you at the beginning of our important meeting this morning.
You did.
Just as everyone was
quite a scene.
Everyone was going quiet for the karakia. And I yelled at Alex! And I got lots of dirty looks. Anyway, that was what I was going to tell you, but I'm glad I saved it for the pod.
Yeah, so am I.
Been some controversy over at breakfast as well. We won't dive into it because we don't know anything yet, but 31 days is not a long time to be on the breakfast show.
To be in the chair. I mean, I feel like our media landscape, in terms of hosting, has changed so much in the past 5 years. Since we started, I don't want to say this is on purpose, since we started the spin-off, it's just been impossible to keep up. I feel like you had someone, it was just like Mark Sainsbury for 20 years.
Yeah.
John Campbell for 20 years. And now it's just like, who knows who could be on TV any given Sunday?
Nixon, Meg and Eli on the edge. What?
Nixon, what?
I mean, it's great. Good on you. Fine.
Oh, yeah.
But it's weird. All these things that, you had all these just staples, as you say, who were in their slots for such a long time.
Yeah.
Polly and Grant, JJ and Dom.
And now Polly's on till midnight on today
It's
by
so
herself.
late.
It is late.
It's such a late time of the day to be working.
I went to bed at 8:30 last night, right after this dancing program. Don't know why I pointed at you with grapes, but
it's because it's food. I mean, there's food in the room. Alex is drawn to it. What else was I going to say?
Oh, do we want to talk about the MasterChef controversy? Have we talked about that yet?
Oh, no, that's what I was getting
That's
to.
why you brought it up.
Yeah.
So a contestant went rogue a day or two before the show was supposed to go to air with all this sort of very long video, which I didn't watch, but a very long Facebook post.
Apparently it was an hour long or close to.
Yeah, about the filming conditions and that it was distressing for her, and I don't know, it was sort of vague, and the things that were specific sounded like just TV stuff.
Some of it,
watches, that they took their watches off them and they fiddled with the time on the clock.
Yeah.
Which,
that's just continuity stuff, right? And I mean, I think here's a hot tip. If you're going on a reality TV show, do some reading about reality TV, because we all know, and actually, honestly surprised they didn't come to some reality TV experts to comment on this. We all know that everything is not exactly as it seems. It's not a documentary. It doesn't play out in the time. They're not cooking for an hour in the hour of television. That's not quite how it works. So I think some of we don't know what's true and what's not, because basically the show, the network came back and said just completely untrue.
Yeah, and Nadia Lim has said a few times it's baffling.
Yeah.
I can say hand on heart that we judged all the dishes.
Yeah.
She alleged that they had earpieces and they never ate the food, and the decisions were made purely on personality, which some of that will factor into it.
Sure.
We know that, but it's a pretty big allegation to make.
I think earpieces is hardly surprising, again, for a TV show, to have the hosts have the director in their ear. That doesn't seem unusual. There are probably times when, they didn't get to eat the food immediately after it was made due to repositioning of cameras or resetting or whatever. But if everything she said is true, some of it does sound quite bad, but at the same time, when you're throwing in a bunch of stuff that is just regular TV production stuff, it kind of dilutes it and makes it hard to know what really was a problem, what wasn't. So it'll be interesting to see if anything further comes of it. I don't want to minimise her complaints.
No, I don't doubt that she had a horrible time on the show.
She definitely had a horrible time.
And needed to leave when she did and all of that. I don't think most people are cut out for reality TV. It looks horrible.
But what happens when you breach your NDA in
that's interesting, yeah.
a spectacular way? What happens?
Well, if Hacks Season 2 is anything to go off, they sue you.
I freaking love Hacks.
I love Hacks so much. After Duncan's recommendation a few weeks ago, I watched the whole thing while I had COVID. Now I'm caught up to date with season 2.
It's on TVNZ On Demand, and it's a little bit of a slow burn to begin with, I think, and then but once you're into it, it's weird. I thought even at the end of the first season, I was like, "Am I fully on board?" And then, but I was like, I didn't. It kind of snuck up on me. Another one I really enjoyed on TVNZ On Demand is Kid Sister. Have you seen that yet?
I watched all of it as well the other day.
So good,
fantastic.
Amanda Billing, aka what's her name from
Sarah Potts.
Sarah Potts from Shortland Street. This is the role she was born for. Like, she is the shining star in this. And also features the composer of the Max Key Corner Sting,
Incredible.
Paul Williams.
Amazing. The Real Pod universe continues to expand.
Anyway, do watch it. It's really, really good. And just like not necessarily laugh out loud funny the whole way, but there's just these like moments of brilliance.
The characters are so good. And I feel like there's no small part that's wasted. Like even, what's her name, Morgana O'Reilly? Well, like her tiny role in the pottery class scene is like, it's just so funny. Yeah, really strong recommendation. It's only 5 eps. You can watch it in 2 hours or so.
That pottery scene is one of my favourite. I mean, I feel like I can relate to that so hard. Anyway, watch it and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Bake Off. They've announced a whole change.
I know.
We've got goodbye Sue, goodbye Brett,
goodbye Fleischer
Schneider, and goodbye to Madeline Sarning.
What's
as well.
going on?
So 4 of the main cast went down to 1 and then expanded again. So we expanded the hosting by 1 Pax Asadi.
Love that.
Love that too. And our new judges, Jordan Randall, the caker, and Peter Gordon, only like massive famous chef guy.
Peter Gordon.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Who's Peter Gordon?
I don't know.
Can I tell you, the other day I was in a meeting with some of the young folks in the office and they didn't know who John Kerwin was.
Wow.
Jay can attest to that. You were there, right? Yeah. That really made me feel... It didn't make me feel old. It made me feel like they needed to go back to school and learn about our all back history.
Read a bloody book.
They knew who he was once we referenced the depression ads,
yes,
campaigns
right.
raising awareness.
Yeah, but they didn't know that the guy from the depression ads was also like one of our greatest All Blacks.
Yeah, no.
God. Anyway, was he one of our greatest All Blacks or just one of our most famous?
Depends who you ask.
Okay, I'm asking you, Tia, here. Oh,
yeah. Sure.
Okay. That was awkward because you sat in a room with him. He knows who you are now. So if he hears this, I think the Real Pod is number 1 on John Kerwin's playlist.
Well, it's number 1 on Apple, isn't it?
An Apple. On this half an apple I've got here.
An apple.
Sitting in front of me.
Scraping the Real Pod onto the side of that.
Oh my God, that's actually a good idea.
That's actually a funny joke.
It is. It's a good joke. Okay, anyway, so that's Bake Off. I can't tell you the day it's starting. Google that. But it's soon, I'm sure.
It'll be good.
Let's get into...
It'll be good.
Let's get into the Dancing with the Stars grand finale.
Without Nando's, there would be no Real Pod.
There'd also be no cheesy garlic pita.
Basically, Nando's changed all of our lives.
Now, we all know that times are tough for hospo, and sadly, Nando's have had to temporarily shut down some of their restaurants. So make sure you check the website to see which stores are still open before you visit.
However, if you prefer to eat at home, like I do, because I'm lazy, Nando's Delivery has got you covered, and there's a nice little bonus on the side.
You can order a scrumptious meal directly from the Nando's app on your telephone or the website on your computer and earn Perry Perks points.
Once you're on the Nando's train, you are definitely not going to want to get off, and you can use your points towards future orders.
You don't get Perry Perks through other delivery services, so great hack.
If you're a fan of the Real Pod, show our besties at Nando's some love. Visit nandos.co.nz or download the app today.
Hey, it's Dua Lipa, and I'm here to tell you about my brand new podcast, Dua Lipa at Your Service. You might know me as a singer, writer, and inquiring mind, and now I'm adding podcasts to that list.
Join Dua Lipa for inspiring stories, tools, tips, and recommendations, alongside some of the world's most exciting minds. Her guests roll deep on success, failure, obstacles, and what we can learn from them.
I can't wait to share all of this and more with you. Listen to Dua Lipa at Your Service on the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Winter is a great time to travel around New Zealand. If you're thinking about your next holiday, why not make it a road trip with Go See? Visit us at goseetravel.com today to find the rental vehicle to fit your holiday and get ready to explore. So exciting. It was great watching this live. Definitely something you want to watch live as opposed to delayed. Can recommend. The opening number was Starship. It's a parachute Studios
version.
rework of Starship.
And they had a catwalk.
Yes, they did. And all our contestants returned to the floor.
And Nerida was out there?
Yes, Nerida was. She's actually
Love to see Nerida.
out there quite a lot.
I actually think we haven't really hyped it up that much, but remember we made that Dancing with the Stars bingo?
Yes.
I almost think the finale was like full bingo card.
Wow.
Like it had Nerida, it had Lance saying "Let's go," it had people talking about Vaz being tall, it had references to Clint's coming third. Like I really feel like they have been listening.
Okay, you might be right. I don't know if we ever referenced the fact that when we went to the show, we asked Sharon Casey to put a little corny reference.
That's right.
In one of her voice links, and she did it. She said it twice, in fact.
It was a bit corny, wasn't it?
Yeah, and a couple of people kind of messaged, was like, did she use that? Did she? And I'm like, yes, it was. And then completely forgot to say it on the podcast. Anyway.
Amazing. And Sharon didn't know why she was saying, and she still did it.
No, yeah.
That is a good sort.
I thought that I don't know, sometimes I forget that not everyone in the world's in the Real Pod Corner, which is facebook.com/groups/Real Pod Corner. And I forgot that maybe she wasn't actually in the corner. And no, she had no idea what she was doing. She did it anyway, which is amazing sort of mind control on my behalf. Thank you very much. Speaking of our social media, Instagram, you can find us at the Spinoff Podcast Network. We normally do this at the top of the show, but just because you referenced the bingo, I brought it up. So Lance says, let's go. Yes. Crowd boos the judges. Yes. Actively encouraged.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Sharon negs Clint for coming third. Yes. Star jokes about seriously injuring their partner. Maybe not this one.
Well, they talked about nearly throwing Jazz over when she did the Time of Our Life.
Judges score 666. Obviously not on finals night.
Way.
Come on.
Tens across the board.
Star is out of breath during judging. Yes. Brody Kane could barely string a sentence together. A judge yells a compliment. Yes.
Electra.
Yep. Jazz does a TikTok dance.
Yep.
Emotional reach towards the camera. Was there one of those?
I don't know if we got one of those.
Cut to a local celebrity in the crowd, Laura Daniel. Cut to a loved one in the crowd, Mama Kane. Someone refers to as being tall.
Yes.
Lance didn't say in the pocket this time. Brody didn't just talk about Proud Mary.
She bloody danced to it.
A star removes a piece of clothing mid-dance.
Brody Kane.
They forget to say when voting has closed. No, you wouldn't do that on
That's
a
more of a
final
joke
fight.
one. That's more of a topical joke, that one.
Someone makes an inappropriate joke. Yes. That's what happens when you don't vote. They probably referred to...
The subtext was there.
Subtext was there. Eric mentions he went to the Olympics.
The subtext was there.
A star collapses in a heap laughing. Subtext was there as well. No, look, anyway... It's
bingo.
Bingo. And Nerida Cortez alert.
Yeah. That was what alerted me to the bingo.
Sorry, I didn't realise. I thought there were only going to be 9. I didn't realise there were like 56. Anyway, it was a real bingo night. Ticked off most of the card. And I just, I loved the opening number. I loved seeing everyone back on the floor. It was weird being like, well, you can dance and you should have been probably in the final for like Reese
so
and...
weird.
Who else? Who else got the COVID?
Eric. Yeah. And Kerre's partner Jared tested positive that morning, so Kerre was dancing with a paddle that just said Jared on it.
It's so funny.
Again, that's the real pod.
That is the real pod. They didn't say that he had tested positive. They just said he's unwell.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's redacted.
But also, sources tell me that Vaz actually tested. There was a lot of speculation that Vaz wasn't going to be in the show because apparently he had COVID. He had tested positive, apparently, in a rat, but then returned a negative PCR, which, as we know, is much more accurate.
Wow.
So if you were one of those people who had it on good authority that Vaz had COVID, only to find him out on the dance floor and feel like a dick, you can feel assured that there was some truth to the rumour.
And Camilla had COVID, of course.
Oh, yeah, Camilla had COVID.
The head judge didn't think that would be, didn't put that on the bingo card.
No.
For the finale.
No. They wheeled in Karen Hardy, who won the British version of, Strictly Come Dancing over there. And I thought she did a really good job, considering.
She did. I did feel this weird, hostility towards her where I was like, you're not my mum. Almost like on maths when, the new people come in and you're like, who the fuck do you think you are? But she was great. She was a pro.
I would have been so nervous,
Totally.
She wasn't, I was expecting her to kind of stumble over words, but she nailed it. She must have watched a few, she's been in the show, I guess, so she knows. She knows how to talk the talk and all the jargon.
Do you think they had her as an understudy the whole time, like in the event that.
Do you know what? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a smart thing to do, right?
Yeah, at least a few weeks ago when they started realising it was circulating around, they might have got a B judge.
Electra's hair was absolutely off the charts.
It was crazy. Her outfit, I mean, we've talked about the Kardashians off mic, but Electra was wearing a dress that went all the way down to the fingers, aka had gloves. And Kim Kardashian always wears outfits with gloves, and I think it just looks so great. But you can't do it in a normal setting, in a day-to-day life.
I highly recommend you watch the Kardashians as well. It's so good. I have been watching a lot of television.
Same.
Again, not going out anywhere ever. Don't want to catch COVID. I've been really enjoying the Kardashians and Electroshock. Okay, so it's show dance, the big final. There's 4 dancers. Halfway through the show, it gets cut down to 2 dancers, and then we have a dance-off between the final 2. So Dave Butterbean Latelli, Brown Butterbean, danced to I Believe from the Honey soundtrack.
You know who else has danced to the song from the Honey soundtrack?
No.
On stage in the Masterton Town Hall.
Alex
Me.
Casey.
And I was wearing a striped shirt from Chantons. And I had a French plait.
I love how you call it Chantons. I'm pretty sure there's no possessive there.
It's Chanton, not a person. I thought it was like Sharon.
Oh,
like Chanton's shop.
Beautiful baby Chanton.
Well, it's like Carl's Jr. Oh, no, nothing.
You think like it's little Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is that the burger?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole nother podcast.
Anyway, I danced to the song, a very emotional song, a very inspiring song. Honey, great film.
It's about dancing, right?
It's about
so
dancing.
It's kind
it's
of
about following your dreams.
Is that meta then? Is that what you
yeah.
kind of... I don't really understand what meta is, by the way. He said it was a very emotional pre-roll where he kind of talked about turning up on the first day and feeling really defeated before he even began, and there were tears and you know, just how sort of far he's come in his confidence in dancing. It's very, very sweet, but he's still not a very good dancer.
No. But he's the people's champion.
Yeah.
You know? That dance that they did, I was like, I feel like we could learn that.
Yeah, I love him. And I think all the feedback from the judges is kind of that... oh, look, you are just your passion and your personality just shines on through, and good dancing, 9 points, you know?
Yeah.
It's very, very sweet. Vaz, texted and voted for Vaz quite a few times.
Me too. How many times did you vote?
6 total, I think.
Oh my God. I voted once for Vaz, which went through, once for Vax, which went through, and once for Val, which did not get through.
No, right. You're really pushing the envelope there. I texted for Vaz and Vax both, but just because I wanted to have a go after I saw you'd done Vax. Anyway, just didn't want to be left out. What an outfit.
What a harness that man was wearing.
Do you think when he goes to the mall with his mum, she just puts a little clip on the back and make sure he doesn't make off out the door?
Does the clip come from the nipples, or where's
yeah, it was part toddler attire, part
50
dominatrix. But honestly, really fucking good dance.
Oh, Vaz has found his mojo, baby. And I'm genuinely worried about what's going to happen now that he's not on the show, because he's got all this new energy and like this new passion for dance.
Where's he going to direct it?
He's going to do like flash mobs in the middle of the town, you know, that no one asked for.
My sister became a stepmother to a young fella who, she's a dance teacher and she has a dance school. So he started dancing at like the age of 14 or something with her. And now, as a young adult, is like dancing in West Side Story and all that. Just like picked it up just like that.
Wow.
And very strong Vaz vibes for me. Like Vaz was so gangly and uncomfortable when he first started. He didn't get tons better before he was booted off. But then it kept coming back, and I don't know, these last 2 shows he's really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And this one in particular, like he was good.
Yeah.
Like he was a really good dancer.
And he had this whole thing, this philosophy, he's like, I realised I was doing the dance and not being the dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you are so deep in this right now for the finale where you are definitely not going to win.
Lord of the dance. I know, despite our votes. I want to know how many votes he got exactly and what percentage of those we made up. Because I know Duncan voted for him at least once as well. I spotted the outie Most time I've had it. Particularly during Sharon's booth, I was very distracted by it at that point. First spotted at the judges' commentary, and then once we were at the booth, it's all I could see.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect little outie, though.
Perfect little outie. Of course. I mean, Vaz is like chiseled out of stone.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. What did he dance to? I don't remember.
He danced to a song called Legendary. I had to rewatch this morning by Welshly Arms.
I don't know.
Yeah. But it was one of those kind of inspiring, we're going to be legends, we're going to be legendary, da-da-da. So, again, similar to Dave's dance, the song was speaking to the outlook of the person. And then same with Jazz. She did Angel by the Wings by Sia. And surprisingly did exactly the sort of dance you'd expect from her. It was floaty and lovely and perfect in every way.
And soaring through the sky.
Okay, the Dirty Dancing lift.
Incredible.
That is... Because at one point in a previous dance, maybe it was Vaz's, there was a run-up and I thought it was going to... I was like, surely not the Dirty Dancing lift. And it wasn't. It was just like a leap into the arms and a turnaround or something. So when this happened, I was like, don't fall for this again, Jane. There's no way this is going to be the lift. And it was the lift.
It was. Well, I had my suspicions from the very beginning when I was like, she's wearing white bike shorts. You know, like what are they planning here? You know, it was like proper Cirque du Soleil stuff. And it was amazing.
Do you want an anecdote about the Dirty Dancing lift for me?
Please.
I once covered the Dirty Dancing musical that came to the Civic in Auckland when I was on C4 with Clark Gayford. And as part of our bit, we attempted the Dirty Dancing lift. But knowing there was no way we could do it, we actually went out to the beach down Herne Bay area, you know, that's really silty underfoot.
Yeah,
it's really like
sludgy.
boggy and sludgy and disgusting. And Clark had to kneel because the tide was quite low, so it wasn't really deep enough to get any decent height. So he had to kneel. And we tried this thing about 50 times.
Oh,
it's
my
very
God.
difficult.
Yeah.
And also that beach is very gross underfoot.
It's hard to get a good run up on that.
I guess we were more recreating the scene where they're in the water practicing it.
Oh,
so when you fall. I also fell just straight on my head. Again, he was kneeling.
Careful
it was
with that.
shallow. Yeah. Hurt.
Those were the days,
That's my story.
Amazing.
And look how far he's come. And look how far...
Look at you now.
I've come. Look at me now. Look at me now.
He's only in America at the moment for a visit. You lived in America.
That's
Jane.
true. I did. Yeah, I did. So
in LA.
Take that. I win. 10 from Lance, by the way. Is this his first 10?
I think so. He's been a bit withholding.
Yeah.
Was that 10 for... Oh, no, 10 for Vaz? 10 for Jazz?
10 for Jazz.
10 for Jazz.
I don't know what... Like, I didn't write down the scores because normally the PR people send them to us all the next day and I got
thought
lazy.
Jazz got all 10s.
She got all
No,
10s.
I don't know.
Did she?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I was just saying it's his... Yes, she got all 10s, but we're just saying the first 10 that we've seen from Lance.
Yes.
Nadia and Clint, weirdly, we just come back from the break and it's 2019. I was really confused.
And it's My Sharona.
I was like, what's happening? It's Nadia and Clint
Loved
dancing.
it.
What is going on?
That is integration.
It is.
MasterChef starting next. Nadia's been on the show. It was like, this is like what they would do in America.
Yeah.
You know? You did the proper thing. It was cool.
It was very cool. And Nadia was like great. She spoke really well. She was very, when she was dancing with the stars, I remember her being quite like giggly and nervous. Nadia.
New Nadia, she's having what Vaz is having.
Did you spot Clint's stubble?
Yes.
Did you? That was crazy stubble. It went across in a straight line across his chin.
Was it?
It was
stage stubble for stage and screen, or was it?
I don't know. Can you do that?
I assume you can.
I've never tried. But it was just it was like honestly, go back and have a look. If you're not doing anything else today, go back and have a look.
I will. I love to watch Clint and Randall dance.
Oh yeah, okay.
Top 5 thing.
Well, bonus, you get to check out that stubble. Then we had Brody doing Proud Mary, obviously.
Mary. Which I did not know, with all these references to Proud Mary, I did not know that was this song. Like, I never made the connection. I thought this song was called Big Wheels.
I can't find Big Wheels on the karaoke form. Excuse me, do you have Big Wheels?
My whole life.
Yeah.
And
you thought it was Shantons.
Listening to Big Wheels down at Shantons later.
There was a mid-dance costume change that happened quite early on.
Amazing.
just a very cool step over swirly thing that they did. We're on
That's
record
right.
swinging around and stepping over at the same time.
Yeah, and then, like they did a leapfrog, and then it was she just threw everything
She
at
did.
it. There was nothing that they didn't do. Did she do a cartwheel?
She
I
did
feel
the
like-
cartwheel thing. I have to say, when you see the pro dancers do the cartwheels, the legs are super, super straight, and Brodie's were a little bit akimbo. But that's my only criticism. It was amazing. And she looked like she was going to die at the end, but she didn't. You know how you say all the time, I'm screaming on text and stuff?
Yeah.
Like when we drop some huge news, like, oh my God, I think Vaz has got COVID. You're like, I'm screaming.
I'm screaming, yeah.
Electra's scream is exactly what I am going to imagine henceforth when you say I'm screaming.
It was very loud. It was so loud that I could hear Lance off mic being like, don't yell. Like you can hear him really quietly be like, what?
So good. But someone needs to gift that. It was really good. Anyway, she just screamed. She was just screaming.
She screamed. And rightly so. Brodie turned it out. And
Yeah.
she is the only one who was actually like, I really want to win. Like, actually admitted it,
Yeah.
you know?
And we texted Brodie as well, right? I did. Did you not?
Oh, I didn't know. Once Vaz was gone, I was
me
like,
and Duncan did. We texted for Brodie. And the thing that shits me is that, Vaz isn't out yet. I texted Brodie later. It shits me that they carried over the votes.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know why. They're trying to do the maths.
The intricacies of the voting thing is crazy. Imagine if they had a live vote, like, you know, like when you watch The Worm during the election debate, something like that. That would be fun.
I think there's a reason why they don't do that. I think Jazz was always going to win this competition.
No, you couldn't fit her bar on the bar graph on the screen, probably.
Imagine if she'd gone down, though, with the COVID. Then that would have really shaken things up, wouldn't it?
It would have been crazy.
Vaz would have been there at the end.
Yeah.
Imagine if Vaz was just the last dancer standing.
I honestly thought it was going to go that way. And then Reese would have been next off the block, right? Because he was healed by that stage.
I don't
he could have entered the competition.
How does that, honestly, does the BBC rulebook account for people getting better and then the person who replaced them then getting like,
sick?
what happens?
It's almost like you shouldn't bother making the show until we're out of a pandemic.
Well, they were doing that for a while and then just got sick of it. Anyway, Camilla texted in some 10s for Brodie. She's like, 10s all round. 10s all round. They count for nothing. Actually, none of the judges' scores counted for anything last night. They were all just a guide.
Yeah.
And did Brodie get... No, she didn't. It was her next dance she got massive score on. This is when we had the previous contestants come back and do another thing. And this is when Kerre did her walk.
The walk with nobody. It was
everyone came out and did a little dance.
with their partners.
And then Kerre just turns up at the back on the stairs and I'm like, what is she going to do?
Yeah.
She's clearly on her own, but like surely she's going to do a little dance number. And she just walks to the front. She would have had a dance planned, right? They would have practiced it and then at the last minute, Jared's tested positive and she's like, I can't.
Well, we think, but we're not sure.
Potentially. Tested positive for feeling sick and she's walked down on
She
her
could have
own.
at least, we've seen her do this.
Yeah, we've seen
the
her do the
rolling and
yeah.
the sort of finger point. She
Yeah.
could at least have done that, but I liked what she did.
I like what she did too. I think it was perfect and I'm glad she didn't pull out any actual dance moves.
And it was so good to see Sonia again, particularly, and Eli. I really felt like if you would just watch the two of them, you're like, oh, they're really going.
Yeah, they've got a lot to prove,
Yeah, but it was so much fun.
So Vaz, sadly, first out of the competition, wasted my $6.
Yeah.
Well, not wasted. Some money to a
gone
charity.
Yeah.
And then Dave won the Clint Randall Memorial third place position. And this is when we learned the earlier votes aren't carried over. And I don't know why this annoys me so much. I feel like there's got to be something of like, if you only had adult, no, that doesn't work because you would have already spent it. So that's just something along the lines of you might have voted differently if you knew that, like maybe I would have saved my money and saved up my votes till the, no, that doesn't make sense.
the very end.
To the very end. Just vote for fun. I don't know. It just feels like
I don't know.
weird.
It's murky. Maybe everyone should just get one vote.
every New
Ever.
Zealander. Like we delivered an electoral vote slip.
Yes.
And you get one vote, and so you don't do that till the very end. And then we all have to wait. We've got election day.
Yeah.
And we have to wait. And then we have to wait for the overseas ones to come in.
Yeah.
It'd be quite a big deal, wouldn't it?
It would be quite a big deal.
Yeah. Probably a bit expensive.
As important, of course.
Yeah. More so, some would say. Joking.
Just jokes. Do you think Vaz kept his little bodice? I want to know the circumstances of that harness. Was this always part of the Dancing with the Stars costume lineup? Was this always in the wardrobe? Did someone dip out and buy it that day?
This smells like a story, Alex Casey. Smells like a story.
Copyright me. Someone get in touch if you know anything, and that applies to any topic.
I think, that is interesting because how do you, is it perhaps inspired by some other dance thing?
Because I don't think we've ever seen anything like that
Not
before.
quite like it, no.
And Vaz is of a certain stature where I feel like, maybe they're adjustable. Look, I don't know enough about them. You're right, Jane?
The sun is very hot. I have to adjust the
Jane
blinds.
is hissing like a vampire at the sun coming in.
Oh, God. Okay, so we got down to our final two, and they're dancing again, and it annoys me how they do this, and I understand why, but they dance their favourite that they've already danced.
We've seen before.
They've seen before.
Jazz did the quick step.
She did the quick step to Light Switch, and
Yeah.
I don't feel this is her strongest dance. Not by a long way. I think she was, it worked out fine. She won the show. Spoiler alert. But I think what happened here is that was the song, the dance she got her very first 10 for.
Right.
In
very
week
early
2.
on.
But what I would say to that is that's a week 2 10 dance, not necessarily a finals 10 dance.
Wow.
Because I do think they scale their
Yeah.
scores based on like how good you might be expected to be at that point in the competition. And that was mind-blowing for week 2. But now that we've seen everything she can do.
So what do you think she should have done from her back catalogue?
I think she should have done that real emo one that we saw.
With the outfit change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one, and she had the black outfit on. I can't tell you what week it was. Week 3, maybe? I don't know. It was just very her, that dance.
I did like in this quick step one, they had that little bit where she kind of breaks character and does little TikTok things, and I thought that was quite fitting.
Yeah.
Look, she's a brilliant dancer.
She was never going to not win it.
No.
She was never going to not win it. I really wanted Brodie to win because I've grown extremely fond of Brodie Kane over the course of this competition. Like, I wasn't really on the Kane train prior, and now I'm on the Kane train.
She's so great.
She's so good.
I love Enrique as well. Did you notice he ripped his armpit open?
I thought that,
Yeah.
and then I realised that she had the same. I think it's purely they're actually little holes, not so much for breathability, but for flexibility. So when you stretch your arms around, that your whole outfit doesn't ride up.
I could do with that.
I should start incorporating that into, practical as well.
It's like how on the panel shows, all the men wear sanitary pads in their armpits. Did you know that? To stop sweating through their shirts on like 7 days and stuff.
I am going to start doing that myself.
The more you know.
Wow, that's amazing. If you know anything about that,
Get in touch.
Get in touch. Thank you. Brodie did her paso that we saw live.
That's
and
right.
It was so good. Like that was my favourite dance of the whole season in total by
It was
anyone.
powerful.
So I'm really glad that she did that, and it was perfect score from the judges.
Did you notice Ryan Bridge was in the audience as
I did
well?
not.
I wonder what he was thinking. He was like, this could have been me.
This could have been me. Yeah,
Don't know.
could have been me.
Could still be him, to be fair.
Could it be me? Sorry, got carried away there.
If get in touch, you know.
Super funny watching the host try and matchmake Brodie and Enrique.
Oh yeah,
Like
was
really
that,
strongly
what was
implying
happening?
is this something or what's going on? Because there was a kiss.
There was a kiss at the end,
Yeah.
which I think was a surprise.
I hope not, because that's can't.
I don't. Yeah,
I think it's a surprise, but knowing that it was going to be fine. Right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of, because they already had this little gag about if something happened, he was going to lick her face or something.
Yeah.
So I feel like, it's It's better than a face lick, surely.
It is better than a face lick.
Move of the week went to the Dirty Dancing lift, of course.
Of course.
And Jazz Thornton is our champion for 2022 Dancing with the Stars. You could tell Brodie was a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Other good news, I don't have COVID, by the
Amazing.
way. Officially don't have COVID.
Congratulations.
So
2 triumphs.
2 triumphs. Me and Jazz Thornton. One of us has slightly more followers online than the other.
If you had TikTok, you'd be huge, Jane.
I
just don't have it, and that's fine.
I do. I do have TikTok, so thanks for that, Alex.
Sorry. Do you have TikTok?
I have a TTok, but I don't
but you don't
use
post.
it.
Yeah.
I've posted like 3 things.
Oh, no. Okay.
Don't watch
I
them.
take it all back.
Don't watch
okay,
them.
I'm going to find them.
Thank you very much, T.I. here. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio throughout the course of Dancing with the Stars, the real recap.
I haven't watched a single episode.
I was going to ask if you managed to see anything.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's all taking place in this sort of abstract universe in my head.
The theatre of the mind.
Yeah. The only person I can properly picture is Lance Savali.
Yeah.
And that's really all you need.
That's all you need.
He's on a beach.
I feel like he kind of always is on a beach, metaphorically speaking somehow.
Yeah.
And thank you, Alex. It's been great to be on the dancing journey with you. I would
you,
thank
Jane.
Duncan, but he's not here.
We can still thank him.
But he so didn't care.
Okay, here we go. Let's get this all out.
No, thank
but
you,
he
Duncan.
did. He started voting.
He
at the
did.
end.
You're right.
It gets everyone at the end.
It does. And we are going to be back tomorrow with our second episode of our Below Deck Down Under Real Recap. And if we don't reference anything from this podcast on that podcast, it's because we already recorded it last week. So if anything crazy happens between now and then, we didn't know. We're none the wiser. Thank you very much for listening. See you tomorrow and every week thereafter for the rest of time.
Goodbye.
From the Spin-Off Podcast Network, you've been listening to The Real Pod, with very special thanks to Nando's. It was hosted by me, Jane Yee, along with Alex Casey and, most of the time, Duncan Grieve. Te Aihe Butler made it all sound good, and Rachel LaRue got us out to the world. Make sure you visit nandos.co.nz for some delicious kai.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.